What up, everybody? It's your boy Jerome, and I am back for another Married to Medicine review. Before I get started with this, I don't know what the fuck Bravo is doing when it comes to Married to Medicine. So, Bravo could leave Married to Medicine on Sundays following Real Housewives of Atlanta. But instead, Bravo is going to move it to Saturday nights. So, that means we are going to be having a review on Saturday night for Married to Medicine and then come back on Sunday for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I do not get why Bravo does this to Married to Medicine every fucking year, but at least it's not Friday, because on Friday nights I would always forget about that shit, but I would still catch it on Sundays when Real Housewives of Atlanta go up, which I still think that they're gonna do that. Like, my question is, what show is Bravo gonna put on in the play to follow Real Housewives of Atlanta? Like, I know earlier this year they tried to do that show that had Genuine, where he was doing that stage play, which I think that show failed miserably. Nobody watched it because whenever Housewives would go off, I immediately turned the fucking channel and did not watch that stupid ass show. But without further ado, we are going to get the video started. All right, so in this episode, we see Dr. Jackie. She is, having a patient there with her little girl. Dr. Jackie has a little girl's patient snitching on her, talking about how she eats donuts, and I think she said potato chips and everything. And Dr. Jackie's doing her, checking her out for the, checking her and the baby out. And then Dr. Jackie also lets us know that, this year with her practice, she has taken a step back and she's spending more time with Curtis. I'm like, oh, okay. If that's what okay. Dr. Jackie's a better person than I am, because shit, I would have fucking loved Curtis. I'm just being honest with you. It wouldn't have been no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know they say for better, for worse, through thick and thin, rich and poor. I know they say all of that. But if you're going to go out and cheat on me, I don't want to be with you anymore. Like, if there's somebody else out there that's better than me, you go be with them. Like, I ain't got time for that bullshit. Like, Dr. Jackie is completely better than I am in that situation. All right, so next we got Dr. Contessa. So we have Dr. Heavenly. She is going over there to check on Dr. Contessa. And in her interview, she kept shading her, talking about, if you're going to go get a double mastectomy and get some boobs, why don't you go up a bigger size? Maybe because she don't want humongous, ginormous titties that are going to hurt her motherfucking back. Like, maybe that's why. And then, she's talking about how men want big boobs. I'm like, Heavenly, shut up. Like, you get on my nerves. Like, you think you know everything about what a man wants. Like, just because daddy, oh God, I don't like calling that man that. Just because he is happy with your submissive ass, don't mean that every other woman has to be just like you. Like, ugh. So then we get quiet. She comes over and joins them as well. And, Heavenly asked Contessa how was she doing. She said she's doing good, but she's just living a boring life, which I'm pretty sure you are living a boring life. You are stuck in that house doing nothing. You're not working, not doing anything. So I'm pretty sure it's boring. So like I said, Quad comes over and, Contessa asked him if they went to Mariah's party. And Heavenly says, I ain't go to that bullshit. And then, she's talking about how Mariah did that party because Quad is going through her divorce. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? Like, why do y'all think that Mariah sat there and actually had that party because she's going through her divorce? Like, that's stupid as all of the fuck. Like, y'all just want to find any reason to have an issue with Mariah. That's just how I feel when it comes to Quad and it comes to Heavenly. Like, it's bullshit completely, because I tweeted this. What's the difference between Mariah's Black Love Party and Toya's couples trip that you going on? What's the big fucking difference? There's no difference. It's a couples trip and it's a Black Love Party for couples. You're not a couple anymore. So if you want to be so offended about Mariah, you should have been as equally offended by Toya inviting you on a couples trip. But the only reason why you did this couples trip is because Bravo is paying for it and you had to take your ass on that trip to keep your job. That's true. But I also thought that y'all have to film with each other. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I just think it's contradictory and dumb as fuck, to be honest with you. All right, so then at Dr. Simone's house, Mariah comes over And, they're talking about the party. And, Dr. Simone gives her a little tidbit on the party. She's talking about how she thought it was a good party, which I thought it was a good thing too as well. I didn't think anything like what, Quad and Heavenly want to say, how they felt like Mariah was being shady. I didn't feel that way. I think Mariah was just trying to do something nice and good for the group. And, Mariah feels a certain type of way about Heavenly and Quiet, which she should be. Like, again, like I said, I don't think Mariah had any ill intent with that Black Love Party. I think she just wanted to have a good time with the group. And, Quad and Heavenly took it a completely different way. And, Simone is sitting there talking about Quad. And I agree with exactly what Simone said. So, with Quad, she feels like she should take a step back from the group. If you feel some type of way about the Black Love Party, then maybe you should take a step back from the couples trip. If you feel so strongly about it, take a step back. It's okay to be like, you know what? This is a couples trip. You guys go on a couples trip. I'm not a couple. I'm solo dolo. You guys have fun. I don't have to come. But like I said, because it was Mariah, that is the sole reason that I feel like Quad is taking such a big issue to it. Because like I said, had Toya through this Black Love Party, had Simone through this Black Love Party, had Jackie through this Black Love Party, Contessa, anybody other than Mariah, Quad would have been all cool with it. But because it was Mariah, she feels like Mariah's been shady. She feels like Mariah was taking a dig at her, and I do not feel that way. Actually, I feel like both Heavenly and Mariah would feel the same way if it was anybody other than Mariah throwing this fucking party. But it's Mariah throwing the party, so they got to find some kind of issue with it because, again, it's Mariah throwing the party. All right, so then we got all the couples. They are getting ready. They're packing to go to Antigua. Toya kept saying Antigua, but I thought it was Antigua. Maybe she's right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. And they're all talking about the blog post. So the blogs posted that how Quad moved out of the house with Gregory, and like I said, they're all talking about it. And then you got Toya and Eugene. They're talking. So then they're talking about the trip. And Toya asked Eugene, did he invite Contessa on a trip? He says yes, that he invited Contessa. And, he's kind of hoping that, Toya is hoping that she and Contessa can get past their differences with one another. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself in my head, like, Toya, the only differences between you and Contessa are literally in your brain about you and Contessa, because Contessa has tried to make up with you, but each time that she met with you, especially at that restaurant, you did the complete fool with her. So for you to sit here and talk about your differences between you and Contessa, it's the differences literally in your brain about you and Contessa. And I don't think Toya even sees it. I hope that when they get to the reunion, that Toya sees how stupid this shit looks looking back at it on screen, because it, like I said again, it is stupid as fuck. So I hope that going back to the reunion, she's able to say, you know what, Contessa, I was wrong. It was childish. It was petty. All right, so we have all the couples and Quad. They're in Antigua. So, they're on a bus and, they're talking to Quad. And she's talking about how she went to a club the night before and she saw Gregory in the club dancing with some girl, talking about, that was probably his side chick that he already had. And, she's talking about how the reason why she was at the club because she was getting something from her friend. And I'm just like Eugene and Cecil and all them call bullshit. Like, so you went to the club to get something from your friend. They couldn't bring it to your house. They couldn't meet you at at a store, meet you up the block from your house. You have to go to the club to get something from them. I agree with what Toya said. Nah, that friend saw Gregory in the club, text you talking about, bitch, I see Gregory in the club with another hoe and he dancing with this bitch. Come down here and check him. Like, that's probably what happened. They just text you talking about they saw your man at the club, booed up with some hoe, booed up with some bitch, and there you go. Like Joy from Friday. I ain't gonna even try to repeat it because I can't think of the scene right now, but y'all know what scene I'm talking about from Friday. So, they finally get to this villa that they're staying at. It's a really nice villa. So there are two different villas, and they're split up into who's gonna sleep in what villa. So in the first villa, you got Toya and Eugene, Jackie and Curtis, Mariah and Aiden, and Simone and Cecil. And then in the other villa is gonna be Heavenly and Dr. Damon, Contessa and Dr. Scott, and Quiet by her lonesome. So, the couples in the first villa, they go to look at their rooms and find their rooms. They find, they all find rooms. And they, have fun with each other over the biggest room. And then, they go over to the other villa where Contessa, Heavenly, and Quad are staying. So they get up to the villa. And on the way to the villa, Toya sees a crab. And they showed the crab. It was a little bitty crab, so it wasn't a big crab. But I'm still with Toya, like, bitch, crabs pinch. I ain't got time for that shit. Like, hell to the no. So I'm gonna jump back and be like, fuck that. So when she jumped back, she accidentally hit Contessa in her titty. And now Contessa's titty is swollen and she feels like it's leaking or something. And, she feels like Toya did that on purpose. And, I like Contessa. But in this instance, I think Contessa did a little bit too much. I don't think Toya was doing that with any intent. I think that was a complete accident. Like, here's my thing with Contessa. You want to talk about Toya hitting you in your titty, but you got your kids who jump all over your titties in the last few episodes that we saw, and you ain't saying not a motherfucking thing to your kids about jumping on your so raw titties, but you got something to say about Toya. Contradictory, right? Like, it's still your titty. Your titty still got hit. But you don't say nothing to your kids, from what we can see as a viewer, but you don't say that Toya deliberately hit you in your titty. Like, I was over Contessa at that point. Like, if you felt so strongly, you really should have stayed at home. All right, so now we move over to the last part of the episode. So, the couples, they are getting ready for the dinner. And then, Dr. Scott comes downstairs and tells Toya them that, he and Contessa are not coming on the trip. To the dinner because Contessa's titties are swollen and they're in pain. And, he tells Toya that she elbowed Contessa, and Toya's like, I didn't elbow her. My hand may have hit her, but I didn't elbow her. And then, they go and get on the bus to go to the dinner. And, Simone says that Contessa was in pain. And then Heavenly says, it was bad. It's really bad that her titty was swollen. And then she tells Toya that Contessa felt like she did it deliberately. And Toya's like, no, I didn't do that shit deliberately. Like, it was an accident. And then, Quad tells her, Contessa came to her, questioning her if it was deliberate as well. And Toya got upset, which Toya should have got upset, because for you to sit here and think that this woman actually hit you in your breast deliberately, like, I think if Toya really wanted to hit you, like that clip that they showed when season 1, when she and Mariah fought, if Toya really wanted to hit you, she would have pulled your hair, punched you in the face. But to hit you in your titty, that's stupid. So then, they get to where they're going, to the dinner. So Toya, she set up for the couples to give gifts to one another. So she and Eugene go first. So Eugene shows her this cubic zirconia replica of a diamond that he's getting for her. And then Toya gives him this voucher book, and I'm like, ugh. And when he started reading the voucher, I'm like, yeah, next. So then next is Mariah. So Mariah, she got Dr. Aiden a bracelet that he can wear in the ER. And Aiden gives Mariah a Chanel bracelet. And then, Dr. Jackie and Curtis, they want to give each other black diamonds. I'm like, again, I would have left that motherfucker, but Jackie loves him, so I'm not even gonna harp on that. So then we move over to Heavenly. Heavenly got some diamond earrings from Dr. Damon. And, Dr. Damon gives Heavenly Dr. Damon gave Heavenly the diamond earrings. And Dr. Heavenly gave him some Versace couplings. He's like, thanks, buddy. I'm like, damn, thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Like, thanks, babe. Why do you always call her buddy? Buddy. But whatever. And then, Cecil tells Simone that he loves her. And then he gives her this big thing that says, as a reminder of him loving her. But then he also does give her a Louis Vuitton wallet that matches her purse. And, she gives him, what did she give him? What the fuck did she give Cecil? Oh fuck, I forgot what she gave Cecil. I really did forget. So then we also have Heavenly. She got a gift for Quad. I'm like, oh, that was sweet. So she got Quad a bracelet. And then the actress that is Quad comes out. She starts crying. And I'm like, oh my God. So now Toya wants to play this game of truth or drink. And she asked Cecil and Simone the question, if they were to wake up the next morning as the opposite sex, which I'm like, how in the fuck would that happen? But whatever. She asked them what would they do. So Cecil says he'll put on some booty shorts and start twerking. And then he starts to twerk for everybody. I'm like, yep. You can keep that bullshit. And then Toya asked Eugene the question, has he ever thought about stepping outside of their marriage? And I think Mariah says you can ask Aiden that question. And then Quad says, don't ask Dr. Gregory that question. And she was like, why? But she's like, because he's already done it. And then, they then start to talk about not Quad, but Toya brings up the blog saying that she moved all the things out the house, and they start talking about that. And I was without the Jackie, like, you just want to get a tranquilizer dart and go, shut the fuck up, Toya. Like, god damn. So then Mariah's talking to Quad, and then Heavenly decides that she wants to chime in because Mariah's just like, you know what, she feels like Quad should open up to the group. Which I teeter-totter with that. Like, I get it. She could open up to the group and she doesn't have to. But just looking at where Quad has been in Lisa Nicole's business, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. So, I mean, I definitely get where Mariah's coming from. But like I said, Heavenly chimed in. And I'm like, oh my God, like, Heavenly, shut the fuck up. Like, she's talking to Quad, not you. And then, Mariah's talking about how she's been friends with Quad. How she was friends with Quad. So, then, Mariah and Dr. Heavenly start arguing with each other. It's fuck you, bitch. Da 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 da. And then, Heavenly, she gets on my nerves when it comes to the oh ho yo mama thing. Like, I swear to God, if I were in the presence of Heavenly and she said anything negative about my mama, I'd be like, bitch, you got one more time to say my mama. And I probably would have did the same thing that Mariah did. Broke that motherfucking flute, and I would have been at that bitch neck like, say something now, ho. Like, what you got to say? Like don't bring somebody's mama into an argument that you have with them. And then you got Dr. Aiden. Dr. Aiden is over there trying to, tell Dr. Damon, just calm your wife down, check your wife. And then Dr. Damon tried to get buck with Aiden. And I'm like, but this man is in here defending his wife. Like, you look just as foolish as your wife is over there. Like, that man that that anger management guy that Dr. Heavenly is saying, you need to ask for a motherfucking refund because that motherfucker is not helping you one bit at all. Like, ask for your money back. Like, this whole spiritual journey that you're going on is bullshit. Like, complete bullshit. But that was Marriage and Medicine. Like the video, leave your comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, the season finale.